Hello, Ada Wells, physical therapist, certified Pilates teacher here. And what I'm doing today is talking to you about exercises that I don't necessarily have a fondness for and some sort of substitution exercises that you can do instead. Now, one exercise that I really just dislike, and you can probably ask most physical therapists and they will say the same thing, is, you're at the gym and there's several things I don't like there, but one of which is that leg extension exercise, that knee extension. So that's the one where you're sitting down, you're kind of leaning back against something, you've got the little bar underneath your legs and both knees are just straightening out, okay? And you've got that big old weight and you're loading it up and yeah, you can see your quads tightening and bulging and you're like, hell yeah, I'm strengthening those quads. But you're also really just creating a whole lot of force and compression on this joint where the kneecap is and between the kneecap and the knee. And so a lot of times when people have, pain in the front of their knee, from running, doing an exercise like that is probably the worst possible thing you can do because you're basically just calling only on the quads. We're not doing anything to create any stability or, core contraction. You're essentially starting from the seated position, everything is off, and now you're just using this isolated muscle group, which is really tough on the body. So what would be a better exercise? A better exercise would be utilizing this quad, but doing something where we're also integrating the opposite muscle group and integrating a little more stability. So, good old squats, okay? And actually, I'm going to take it sort of, instead of just doing a plain squat, sometimes what you can do is do a little step-up exercise where I'm going to take hold of one of my things here. Sorry, this is actually, this is a little pad. So this is a little squishy. So I'm actually going to add an element of balance here. But normally I would just take a book or something, okay? And you can't see it here, but it's probably about 2 inches off the floor. And actually, if I think about keeping my hips as level as possible and just coming up and doing a little step up and a little step back down, what I'm doing here is I'm working on the quadriceps, but in addition to doing that, I'm working on the glutes. A lot of times when people have pain in the knees and problems with the knees, it's because they've got weakness in the glutes. I mean, the knee is the dumb joint, does whatever the ankle and the hip tell it to. So if the hip is not doing what it should be doing, and you're getting a lot of that, knee is moving inwards, that's going to create a lot of problems. So this is something you can't really see when you're just doing that plain old leg extension. But here, when you're doing a step up, it's really easy. If somebody's dropping their hip and doing kind of this little merengue thing as they're coming up, they're not creating stability. So this is just a nice way to do that. And we can actually, I tell people, you know what? Do that. If you can do that 20, 30 times, good form, no problem. Maybe we start with an inch height. I mean, really, we're starting low because I'm looking to see, are you holding the pelvis stable? Okay, they got it, good form, no pain, perfect. Let's increase it a little bit. So then you might, work up to a couple inches or 3 inches and slowly making it, so that you're able to, if you can only do 15 and then everything, you start losing your form, that's all you do, okay? It's always about form first. But by doing that, we're creating an element of control, we're creating an element of balance, and also the fact that because you have the co-contraction of both kind of the hamstrings, the glutes, and the quads, those are all working together, it's much healthier for the knee joint and it's going to serve you a lot better than just sitting in a gym and doing those little knee extensions. Okay? So hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time.